Yes, yes it does. The morally bankrupt society inevitably corrupts everything that it touches. In general, it does not matter who it is, but it is harder on the people who are forced to be in a situation they simply do not belong to. That's the case of women just like Maria Braun, who gets married to Herman Braun, who pronounces his vows with Maria. Yet it turns violent as bombs are going off all around the building they're in. Still, they get married, and she stays married to Herman, for as she explains to a nurse, half of a day and a whole night, in a scene at a train station where she waits for her husband to come back. We see sadness come across her face because Herman gets sent to the front line. Due to harsh economic conditions, she tries selling her wedding dress and fails since not a lot of girls are getting married. There is no one to be married to. The economic conditions that caused her to sell the dress are the same conditions that make her mom sell something very valuable to her for 2 packets of cigarettes. These are the same conditions that make her think, what is the best job opportunity I can find to get out of the world I currently am living in? She finds a job, but it's a job that diminishes her as a woman, since she works at an exclusive American bar where only German girls are being hired. Here she finds an ideal, the answer to her questions, an African American soldier who can provide what she wants. This is in part because at the moment she thinks her husband is dead, since Willie, the husband of her sister, comes back from war.
Der Hermann ist tot.
She did not have a lot of choices besides wanting to be with someone for her. And her willingness to have a good life was to be with a man who was wealthy and well respected between others. Or at least that's what she thought. While being with Bill, she is dependent on him, just like she was to the memory of Herman. But this time, she is learning how to be independent as well. She does things like learn English, but does not let go of the image of her marriage when Bill, the American soldier, wants to marry her. She says no. I am already married. I am married to my husband. Herman Braun. Maria Braun represents many things. 2 main concepts that she represents are Germany as the motherland and motherhood. The second thing that she represents are the ideals that Germany had at the time, but that die after the war was over, just like she died in the movie. She deals with the extreme circumstances she was put in, where most of the German men had gone to war. Some of the men left behind might have done their time already, or they are too old to fight. The American soldier Bill, seems as someone friendly that Maria appreciates being there, but feels no love. He is an American person who wants to help the people who need help, and because of that, he is not well received by the people who are on the opposite side. He is only needed when Maria thinks she needs to search for something that would give her the life she wants. Once her husband comes back, Bill is not needed, and she kills him. The level of destruction in the country is high, and cigarettes becomes a theme in the film, as representation of humanity and a necessary and nostalgic memory of what life was before the war. First, we see people fighting for cigarettes at the train station. Maria stands up for herself after someone says indecent things to her, and because of that, she gets rewarded with a full pack of cigarettes. This comes from the idea of someone being oppressed and the other being the oppressor, where it can be only one or the other. The oppressed lives content with what the oppressors are doing, until they stand up for themselves and become the oppressor. This idea evolves when Maria gets pregnant by Bill and aborts the baby. Maria tells Bill she is pregnant, and they are about to celebrate by having sex, while Herman, who has returned, is looking at them without saying a word. Maria sees him and eventually kills Bill to be with Herman. However, the kid has nothing to do with this. He is just a black angel, That's how her childhood doctor calls him, who will have a hard life if he were to be born. A half African American, half German kid who's not wanted because he's different. Maria kills her son, just like Germany killed people, just because they were Jewish. So literally, it is a story of a woman who gets married, has an affair thinking her husband is dead, and when her husband comes back, she tries to get him back. At the end, she ends up dead, but overall, the story behind the movie is the story of a young woman caught in what seemed to be the aftermath of a war while struggling for a better life.